Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another awesome video as we are vastly approaching March Madness. Now, for the men's side of things, this is it. This is Champ Week. So, as far as the AQ watch, I know things have updated a little bit since I took the screenshot of the AQ watch. There have been a few more conference champions to be crowned, but for the most part, it's kind of what it looks like. So, how are we looking, and what does Andy Katz think about the tournament this year? We're going to break it all down. So first, here is the AQ watch. So far, we have crowned Morehead State, Stetson, Samford, James Madison, Drake, and Longwood as your conference champions. So, yeah, we look forward to seeing who else gets crowned this week. And now Andy Katz's final Power 36 heading into Champ Week. 25 through 36, we got Nebraska, Texas Tech, Drake, Loyola Chicago. Way to go. Awesome. Colorado, Northwestern, Washington State, South Florida, Pitt, Kansas, Seton Hall, and Princeton make up the back 12 of the Power 36. Overall, I think for the bottom half of the Power 30, or the bottom third of the Power 36, it's near perfection in my opinion. I kind of like where everyone is seated or listed here. All right, and then 13 through 24, we got Baylor, Gonzaga, BYU, Auburn, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, St. Mary's. Way to go. You really stepped it up there lately. Utah State, Boise State, Florida Atlantic, and Nevada to close out 13 through 24. I like where Florida Atlantic is. I think potentially they could be a little higher. I agree as St. Mary's deserves to be in here. I think they should be a little bit higher, but I do believe that they won the West Coast Conference after this came out. So that is a little indicative of that. And finally, close out the Power 36 from 1 to 12. We have Houston, UConn, Purdue, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, Creighton, Marquette, Arizona, Iowa State, and Duke. All right. That's awesome. I do, for the most part, love all of these. I think these are pretty much right from top to bottom, from 1 to 12. Personally, I think if nothing else, probably a few people should be, or teams should be moved around and adjusted. But overall, I think this would be my top 12 if I had to rank 1 through 12. So I definitely don't disagree with you there. All right, now let's get into the bracket. So right now, Andy Katz's prediction for the brackets look as followed: Houston versus Stetson and Norfolk State, Boise State, Nebraska, South Carolina, Richmond, Illinois, Samford, Texas Tech, Virginia or New Mexico, Kentucky, Morehead State, Dayton, Colorado, Marquette, Colgate. How do I see the South region playing out from here? Well, I think your final four in the region itself will be Houston, Illinois, Kentucky, and Marquette. I think those four have the easiest path to meet in the Sweet 16. From there, I think Houston and Marquette. And I think Houston will head to the Final Four coming off of an Elite Eight win over Marquette. If I had to break it down just based off the way that the bracket looks now, I think Houston will win over either 16 squad. I think Boise State will beat Nebraska, so Houston and Boise in the round of 32. Even though I could possibly see Nebraska winning there, because the 8-9 always is a chance for a quote unquote potential upset because they're about even there. 5-12 and 4-13. I think Richmond will get the upset over South Carolina. Illinois over Samford. I'll go Texas Tech. I think Virginia will come out of that play-in game over New Mexico, and I think Texas Tech will get revenge on Virginia for losing the national championship to them a few years ago. I think Kentucky will beat Morehead State. I'll take Dayton over Colorado in the 7-10 and Marquette over Colgate. And then, of course, like I said, from there, Houston, Boise, Houston in that one. Illinois, Richmond, give me Illinois. Kentucky, Texas Tech, I'll take Kentucky. And Dayton, Marquette, sadly, Flyers, I got to go with Marquette on that one. All right, and then the East. The East, I think, could look a little tricky here. Give me UConn in the 116, Northwestern in the 8-9, Clemson and Kansas in the 5-12 and 4-13. For the 6-11, I will go. That's a tough one. I'll go Princeton in the 6-11 over Wisconsin. Give me Duke over Charleston. For the 7-10, I will take TCU. Go Horned Frogs. And Tennessee, South Dakota State, I'll take Tennessee. So UConn versus Northwestern in the round of 32 in this hypothetical. Give me UConn. Clemson, Kansas. Give me Kansas. Princeton, Duke. Princeton, you did a good job upsetting Wisconsin. I don't think you have what it takes to beat Duke, so give me Duke. And Tennessee, TCU. For silliness, let's go with TCU in that one. Just because this is just predictions and nothing is set in stone yet. Give me TCU out of the bottom fourth of the East, taking on Duke. Give me Duke. And then Kansas, UConn. I think that game could be an instant classic, down to the wire. But give me UConn. UConn versus Duke for the East Region Championship. The Elite Eight game to go to the Final Four, to go to Phoenix. Give me the UConn Huskies. I think they will get back to the Final Four. Now, let's talk about the West region. The West, North Carolina versus Longwood, Nevada versus Michigan State. Give me Sparty and the Tar Heels. 5-12, BYU James Madison, and the 4-13, Bama versus McNeese State. I will take James Madison and Alabama. For the 6-11, you got San Diego State and Drake. For the 3-14, you have Baylor, Oakland. Give me Baylor and Drake. For the 7-10, Gonzaga, Seton Hall. The 2-15, Arizona, Montana. Give me Gonzaga, Arizona. So around the 32, we'll have North Carolina, Michigan State. Give me the Tar Heels. Round of 32, we also had James Madison and Alabama. Give me the Tide. Roll Tide. Drake Baylor. Give me Baylor. And Gonzaga, Arizona. That's a tough one. For me, that could be a toss-up, a coin flip. But I think for that one, I have to go with Arizona. From there to the Elite 8 matchup, I would go North Carolina versus Arizona. Oh, wait. Yeah. And then North Carolina to win the West. So let's talk about our last final region, the Midwest. We got Purdue, projected number 1 team in the region, versus Merrimack Grambling. Give me Purdue. I think they bounce back from last year and make up for their silly, crazy loss to Fairleigh Dickinson. Texas and FAU at the 8-9. Give me Florida Atlantic. For 5-12, Utah State Grand Canyon. Give me the Aggies of Utah State. 4-13, we got Auburn versus UC Irvine. Give me Auburn. Although I could see potential upset here with UC Irvine. 6-11, we have Washington State versus Mississippi State or Indiana State. Give me Indiana State to win that play-in, and the Cougars of Washington State to win over Indiana State. And then Creighton Toledo at the 3-14. I think Creighton will completely overpower Toledo in this hypothetical matchup. And 7-10 is Florida Colorado State. Give me Florida. The 2-15 is Iowa State Sam Houston State. Give me Iowa State. So in the round of 32, my projected winners are, from bottom to top, Florida, Creighton, Auburn, and that's a tough one between FAU and Purdue. I just don't know there. Screw it. We'll go with FAU beating Purdue in the round of 32. So in the Sweet 16, you got FAU versus Auburn. Give me the Owls on that one, baby. And Creighton versus Florida in the Sweet 16. Give me the Blue Jays. So you got FAU versus Creighton in the Elite 8 for the Midwest Region Championship to go to the Final Four. Give me Creighton to go to the Final Four for, I believe, the first time ever. So that means Creighton, North Carolina, UConn, and Houston is your Final Four in Phoenix. At this point, with that field, I think UConn actually pulls it off and repeats as champion with the way that this field looks right now. Now, of course, on Sunday, once the brackets are actually out, Sunday or Monday, we will break it down, give you our full predictions. So stay tuned for that one. Cannot wait. I'm excited for March Madness. I hope y'all are excited. We are going to talk more men's March Madness, road to the Final Four of Phoenix in the coming week. And we're going to talk more women's March Madness, road to Cleveland, which I just figured out. I know I'm probably late to the party, where the Final Four and championship game are going to be in Cleveland, Ohio. So stay tuned, because we have an action-packed month of March ahead of us, beginning of April, and it's perfect, everyone, because we got March Madness leading right into the UFL season. So stay tuned right here on the Buckeye Mike channel and right here on the Shady Sports Network channel. Do not forget, leave your comments down below. Who do you think out of the current field that Andy Katz has, who do you think will come out into the Final Four? Who do you think will win it all for the men's tournament? Give me your thoughts down below. I look forward to hearing from everyone. Don't forget to comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Plus, it builds morale. So, thank you all for tuning into this one. We will see you in the next video.